Now we all know what a locker room cancer is and what they can do to your team. Usually, it's a guy with a bad attitude in some shape or form, whether it's on ice or behind the scenes. Sometimes these select few can find homes that work for them, and others, well, they never seem to find one. So prepare to get your hazmat suits out and draw your weapons, cause it's about to get real toxic up in here. Sorry, I've been watching Stranger Things. Anyways, back to the hockey dimension. Anomaly. Now that's the perfect word for describing Dougie Hamilton, as a defenseman is one of the few caliber players to be traded twice before his 26th birthday. And really, not many people, including myself, know exactly why, hence my reasoning for ranking Hamilton so low. But what we do know is, despite being able to click with teammates on ice, well, the blue liner has reportedly struggled off of it, as the Boston media portrayed him as being quite a loner, and having few friends in the locker room. Later on in Calgary, the problems seemed to persist, as Sportsnet's own John Shannon reported that when the entire team would go for lunch at Moxie's, Hamilton would go to a museum, he says. And yes, there for a while, the Flames did have Dougie's older brother Freddie on the roster, which seemed to help the situation, as the two even got a house together. But even good things sometimes come to an end, as the Flames decided to place the older of the Hamiltons on waivers not long after the 2017-18 season began. And as you would expect, no one was more upset about the news than Dougie, who found himself on another team the following season. Now, I'm definitely not here to say being introverted and loving museums isn't cool, but instead, maybe Dougie's failure to connect with teammates may have been one of the reasons why the blue liner can't seem to find a permanent home. Nice guy that tries hard and loves the game. Yeah, that's Phil. And you probably, like me, can't say Kessel without at least thinking of hot dogs. Am I right? Anyways, we all felt for the guy in Toronto, as he seemed to get the most media scrutiny than most players do in a career. And rightfully so, as former coach Ron Wilson created all kinds of chaos, after saying, when he's not playing well, he's a hard guy to get on board and get on your side. It's just the way it is. He comes and he goes, and he gets emotional. He lets that affect his game and his relationship with other players. That's what you have to coach, he says. Then there was Randy Carlyle. You know, Phil's golfing buddy. Or at least, until he was canned. End result, automatically, Kessel was then accused of being the catalyst or the reason, because he was quote-unquote uncoachable. Now, I'm definitely not throwing a Kessel bashing party anytime soon, as I actually loved having him in Pittsburgh. Even still, this is just me stating the obvious. Yes, Kessel can score, and he's, in my opinion, one of the best snipers currently in the game, but there seems to be a pattern here with the coaches. And yes, Mike Sullivan was no exception to the rule, as his relationship with our favorite hot dog consumer quickly soured. And yet again, Phil found himself packing his bags. Now, is it the coaches or is it the player? Just something I'll leave you all with to ponder. Obviously not exactly saying Hoffman is a problem here, as it was his girlfriend who decided to allegedly cyberbully and harass Erik Karlsson's wife, following the painful loss of their son. But even still, this quickly, as you could imagine, snowballed out of control. From orders of protection to lawyers, this kind of drama and controversy was exactly what Ottawa was trying to rid its name of. Instead, Hoffman, as you would expect, was dealt to the Panthers. A quick band-aid to remedy the damage done. Even still, one can only imagine the awkwardness in the dressing room between the Sens captain at the time and Mike Hoffman. We all know PK Subin. In fact, you could probably be living under a rock and still somehow know of the Devil's latest acquisition. I mean, he has his own reality show, he's dating Lindsey Vonn, a world-renowned skier who just took home an ESPY award. Not a big deal. Anyways, as fun and entertaining as Subin's personality can be, it hasn't always meshed well with teammates, as the defenseman can easily come across as cocky and a bit arrogant on the first take. And this, obviously, has been known to rub a select few the wrong way, especially during his time in Montreal. Brendan Gallagher. The two even decided to settle their differences in practice. Subin also hashed it out with David Descharnais, and there were even rumors that he and the team captain Max Pacioretty had a rift as well. And yet again, after being traded to Nashville, according to Elliot Friedman, Subin was already reportedly almost traded for Matt Duchene before he was sent up to Ottawa. I guess we'll all have to wait and see if New Jersey can finally be the team to embrace the eccentric defenseman. Well, you had to know this one was coming, and for good reason, as Evander Kane, similarly to Subin, is known for his confident, seemingly cocky kind of attitude. But the forward not only brings a certain amount of swagger to the lineup, but also controversy. During his time in Winnipeg, Kane was frequently making headlines, but not for his actions on ice, but instead off of it. When he wasn't making arrogant posts on social media with his money, he was allegedly dealing with assault accusations, and was even sued at one point. And as you would expect, the winger clashed frequently with coaches, as he was benched and scratched by both Claude Noel and Paul Maurice. As you also would expect, end result, Kane found himself eventually playing for a new team, but his haughty attitude seemed to follow. This, of course, wasn't received well by teammate at the time, Justin Falk, who previously lashed out at Kane in practice, calling him selfish, and other names I'm not going to say. And yet again, the trend holds true here. A talented player is found almost living on the trading block. Anyone want to make a bet with me on whether he stays in San Jose or not? Regardless, you have to admit, this guy has to be an acquired taste.